A record number of expats, immigrants, and Canadians are leaving Canada in order to escape tyranny. And Canada has become one of the worst countries to live in the world in recent months. How to escape the Great White North. Here at Wealthy Expat, we help wealthy individuals just like you protect, expand, and enjoy your wealth in countries that welcome you. A few weeks ago, I posted a video on why Canada is a terrible place to live due to high taxes, extreme health regulations, and new proposals that will limit your freedom online and everywhere. Not to mention the recent freezings of bank accounts of people that didn't comply with the government mandates. That video ended up getting over 2.5 million views, and I want to clarify some of the points from that video because I truly believe that every Canadian should move out of Canada or at least find a plan B to protect yourself. How Canada is becoming a tyranny. First off, freedoms are getting taken away. From bank accounts getting frozen for people that don't support the government, to new laws that limit what content you see online for safety and protection, and threats of citizenship-based taxation for Canadians. You've seen a country go from one of the freest in the world, a place that everybody wants to go to one of the most restrictive and authoritarian places in the world. During the crisis, Canadians were completely restricted from leaving their country if they didn't have the thing in their arm, essentially making the Canadian passport worthless if you were inside of Canada without following the mandate. To me, this is truly shocking how Canada has transformed into this new country. I was there in 2018 and it was a completely different place than what it is now. People are being controlled. With the constant stimulus payments that low-class Canadians were receiving, of course, they will comply with anything the government mandates of them. And most Canadians, and most people in general, are poor, so they'll do whatever the government says in order to keep receiving that money. The Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is also very good friends with Klaus Schwab, the director of the World Economic Forum, who loves the idea of the Great Reset, a world where we all live happily with no asset protection, no ownership of absolutely anything, no privacy, and zero personal freedoms. You will own nothing and be happy. Canada is one of the main countries leading in this direction, and of course they will roll out central bank digital currencies, essentially controlling the entire money supply so they can increase taxes. They can control people just like you that have money and they don't want to comply with whatever the government says. Number 3, the rich and successful are the enemy. Canada is slowly building a tax the rich and the evil rich culture where wealthy individuals just like you are only beneficial to society if they contribute more and more of their wealth in taxes to again feed the poor people that comply with everything the government mandates of them. There are strong proposals for a wealth tax, citizenship-based taxation, higher exit taxes, and other restrictions on wealth leaving the country. Carefully following the route of the United States, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 5 years all Canadians need to report and pay on all of their income anywhere they live worldwide. Wealth is pouring out of Canada, but that doesn't mean they will stop. Central bank digital currencies, CBDC, and total government control will continue. And as a wealthy person, you need to start putting the pieces together to have an action plan when it gets bad enough, or even already because it's already terrible. My 3-step action plan. 1. Get the heck out of Canada. Move to another country. If you're finding it hard to pick one, move to Mexico, Cayman Islands, Portugal, one of the countries that is not too far of a flight. They're not so far from Canada. So you start seeing more of the world. And another potential country that you might want to move to as a Canadian. Do you believe Canada is heading downhill or uphill? Is it getting better or worse? Comment your views down below. Second, become tax non-resident officially of Canada. You might need to pay a deemed disposition tax upon leaving Canada, essentially an exit tax that Canada imposes in order to prevent wealth from leaving the country. They use it to punish wealth and keep it inside of Canada. You want to cut all your ties from Canada. The Canadian Revenue Agency is very aggressive, and if you have any cars, any properties that are empty, or any bank accounts with high balances, the CRA will come and punish you later on. If you have enough wealth, get a second citizenship. Canada doesn't tax based on citizenship yet, but wouldn't you rather be prepared for the eventual downfall and the eventual restrictions now rather than once it's 1 or 2 days too late. You can look at getting long-term citizenship programs like the Portugal and European Golden Visas, which only require you to be a couple of weeks inside of the country, and you can get a passport within 5 to 6 years. It could be a little bit longer, but you're getting a tier A passport that is the same as Canada. Most European passports are as strong as the Canadian, meaning you can replace it and you can give up your Canadian passport in case they start taxing based on citizenship. Or you could look at getting Malta citizenship by investment with around $1 million in donation and fees. You can get a Maltese passport in 18 months and then replace the Canadian passport in just a year and a half. The Malta passport is obviously one of the best in the world. You can visit Canada, the US, wherever you want with that passport. Canada is heading downhill. We all know it. It's become a country for the poor, for immigrants to move to just to get the passport in a couple of years, and a country that punishes wealth and non-compliance as much as it can. As a wealthy Canadian, put the pieces in place to get out. If you want to move out of Canada but don't know where, you can check out this video right here on the top 10 low-tax countries around the world that welcome Canadians and many nationalities. You can check them out right now and move to one of these countries with this step-by-step guide.